The CEO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.
You are now tuned into the CEO Mindset, bringing you trending topics that will engage you to level up in your business while equipping you to maximize your business opportunities and empower you to boldly step into your business brand and be more visible. This is the CEO Mindset. A CEO is bold, optimistic, vibrant, and successful, leaving a legacy, spreading money-making vibes with a wealth mindset to match her grind. She dreams big. CEOs have no limitations, and when obstacles come, they knock them down gracious. Choosing her own path, a CEO never lowers her aim for someone else's gain. She's wise in her steps. CEOs move in silence, breaking barriers, running businesses, securing the bag, making investments, creating perfect credit. Now that's the CEO Mindset.
Welcome to the CEO Mindset. I'm Nicole Gates, your brandologist.
And I'm Katrina Kimball, your holistic wellness consultant.
And we are excited to be back with you this week. And of course, what do we do first?
We always got to talk about the wine.
It's time to wind down. So I hope you have your notebook, your pen, and your wine glass, and your favorite wine as we wind down. This week, Katrina, my absolute favorite. And I'm not a big fan of white wine.
I know. You're a red girl. You're the red girl.
Yeah. So this one is Moderna.
Okay.
It's a white table wine.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is an everyday wine that you can enjoy any day of the week. You don't have to feel pressed and think it's got to be a special occasion. This is just everyday white wine. Love everyday white wines because they go so well with so many foods that we cook, right?
Okay. So tell us some of the things you can pair this white wine with.
So, white wine. Always with a white sauce or white meat. We know that, right?
Okay.
I've said that 1,000 times, so I know you all have that down. But what is your favorite dish? What do you like to cook?
You know, I'm the pasta girl. If I had my way, I would be in Italy right now. So
Pasta,
anything
Italian.
pasta, especially shrimp Alfredo,
Okay.
chicken Alfredo. I love those types of dishes.
Okay, and so I know you told us before that you typically marinate your shrimp
Absolutely.
and stuff in a white wine.
Yeah.
Pinot Gris is like my favorite, right? If I
Okay.
had to do a white wine, I probably would do a Pinot Gris because
Okay.
you can actually, it's a great cooking wine, but most white wines are.
Good cooking wines. Okay.
Yeah, so kind of think about that. What about pork? Do you eat pork?
Not a big fan
Not a
of
big
pork.
pork. Okay.
But what I will do though, sometimes, especially when you're out at dinner, sometimes you only have two options, pork or the chicken.
Right.
And I tend to lean towards the white. I
Okay.
don't really do the
Okay.
beef, but I will lean towards the pork if
Or
I have the
turkey,
option.
a good turkey
Definitely.
breast. You know, sometimes we're on the go. Sometimes I'll get a chicken breast or I'll get a turkey breast and I'll throw it in, the slow cooker or whatever. And I'll take a little of this and put it in there
And
with
let it just marinate?
Let it marinate, in a
good.
slow cooker. Oh my gosh. You will thank me later, I promise. Can't go wrong with wine. White wine goes well with dark chocolate. And so I really like to drive that point home because a lot of people think that when you're drinking wine, you have to have milk chocolate. And a lot of people don't want dark chocolate. But dark chocolate has so many health benefits.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's
Yes.
an antioxidant.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
So you want to be healthy and drink wine? Get you some dark chocolate.
Yeah, and dark
Just a
chocolate is
tip
good
for
for
me
your
to
heart
get.
too. Yes,
It
it's
is.
one of those good things that's good for your heart. A lot of people don't think
Absolutely.
about it, but dark chocolate, a little piece, it doesn't hurt you.
It won't
It's good
hurt
for
you. I promise you. It balances out. And always when we're drinking wine, we want to look for balance, okay? So we'll give you more tips next week. So let's talk about today's topic. I'm super excited about today's topic as a
Yeah.
brandologist.
Yes, because this is right up your alley.
Oh my gosh.
This is like so down your street. You're so good with this one.
Definitely. So we're going to be talking about what's in a brand today.
Yes.
So Katrina, what do you think a brand is?
Well, for me, especially when you work for yourself, you are your brand, whether you believe it or not. From the moment you walk out your house, you are your brand. It's everything from, it's not just your website, it's not just your business card, it's how you carry yourself, how you present yourself to your customers. It's the person you are when you walk out your door. And I tell people all the time, you know, people know you're human. You do have a personal side and then you have a professional side. But I always believe that when I walk out the door, I never know who I'm going to meet. I don't know if I'm going to walk up on somebody that has a $1,000 contract or a $10,000 contract. But when you see Katrina, I want you to see the best version of Katrina there is.
Absolutely.
So I just really believe that, especially for women that work from home, their own businesses, you know, I hear all the time, it's not fair. It may not be fair, but that's the reality of it. That's true. Are your brand. I think of a story. I was talking to someone that has her own company, and she actually missed out on a contract, and she does events.
Oh.
We were meeting at Home Depot to pick up some items, and she came to Home Depot in a baseball cap, dressed down in sweats, not particularly looking her best, and we ran into a gentleman that was looking for someone to coordinate his events.
Wow.
And I couldn't even give
Missed opportunity.
I couldn't even give her her business card.
Missed
because
opportunity. Wow.
she was not presentable.
And I think it's too easy, right? So we work from home because I work from home, and it's so easy. You can work in your pajamas. You can work in. I like my yoga pants and my gym shoes.
Everybody likes their yoga pants. We have several pair of yoga pants.
But when I go out, I know that 9 times out of 10, if I'm going out and I'm not up to par, right? That's the very time you will run into somebody. Keep it together, you know, and you can still look presentable and have, you know, some jeans and a t-shirt on or whatever. And
even a nice pair of khakis and just a nice polo shirt. I'm not saying every day when you walk out the door, you got to look like you're hitting the red carpet. Right. But what you do want to do is make sure when you walk out the door,
your head is combed.
Yeah. Of course, Nicole.
Things like that.
Yes, you want to have your hair combed in style. You want to be at least present yourself in the best light you can. And again, not saying being dressed to hit the red carpet, but you can have on a nice pair of khakis or jeans and a nice polo shirt. And always keep your cards with you too. If you're going to talk about being your brand, you know, even if it's an electronic card on your phone. So I think when it comes to branding, I think that's a topic we can really dive into because so many people, you get so many mixed messages about branding and you're not really sure. And I think the biggest thing is you just have to define what is going to be your brand and what's going to be your brand style.
I love it.
Because what works for one person may not work
for the other person. And so the cool part about being a brandologist, right? I get to work with women who have businesses that have absolutely no idea how their business looks to other people. Right?
Yeah.
So I found this really cool poem, and it's very short and sweet, but it drives home being your brand, right? You are your brand. So it says, the first part says, your smile is your logo.
Wow.
So you ever meet people that's just grumpy all the time? Like, what are you so upset about? But you're a business owner, and it's like, I'm not happy being you need to find a new occupation. Let me give you an invitation. If you are unhappy with what you're doing, find a new occupation. Do yourself a favor. I'm just saying. Your smile is truly your logo.
And I think sometimes people just have to get comfortable with their smile. I mean, because you got to think about it. You know, we're not taught to really look at ourselves. So what I always encourage people is start at home. Just start practicing smiling at home. And then go to smile at one person a week and just continue to get comfortable. Because for some people, I mean, it may seem simple, but it is very challenging for some people because some people just don't like their smile. But we know that that's an important part of your brand. So we're going to continue to dive into this conversation about your brand and discovering your own personal style of branding. So we invite you to come back as we continue this conversation at the CEO Mindset.
The Fruition Complex is a community of forward-thinking creatives and professionals who share a common goal of owning and operating a successful business. The Fruition Complex offers its members access to a collaborative work environment, invaluable networking opportunities, and a list of business development services. Call today, 901-779-2385. It's time to pop some flair into your style at Iona's Closet. Wonderful clothes and outstanding customer service. A wide selection of casual and consignment clothes for the woman of style at Iona's Closet in Memphis. Royalty Wellness Spa is committed to providing you with a quality service in an intimate and friendly environment. They offer anti-aging medical treatments that improve the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, fill lips, voluminize cheeks, and improve deep pose. They also offer treatments that can improve energy, decrease fat, and improve hair, skin, and nails. Call 901-779-2385. Make a statement without saying a word. Neckology 101 is a leading provider of eclectic and unique neck art in the form of jewelry. They provide an unparalleled selection of quality products, an easy shopping experience, expedited shipping offers, and exceptional customer service. Check out their collection online today.
At its core, a brand is a promise to consumers. The brand promise incorporates more than just those tangible products and services. It also includes the feelings that consumers get when they use your products and services. Think about your favorite brand and what that brand promises to you. Does it make you smile or frown? Does it feel good? Are you inspired to tell others?
So Katrina, before the break, we were talking about your smile being your logo, right? I truly believe your smile is everything. It is literally your first impression, right?
Absolutely.
I don't want to do business with a person that is always frowned up, looking unhappy. Like, I think I would be uncomfortable just talking to them, just in general. So I think we need to be conscious about how we present ourselves, right?
And I think it comes from when people get comfortable in their own skin. When you're not comfortable with yourself, it's kind of hard to project that to other people. Wow. So what I discover sometimes when I meet people that don't naturally smile, I just kind of smile at them and kind of, crack a joke with them, trying to give them a little hint, like, give me something back. And what I've discovered is sometimes people just, unfortunately, don't know that how they come across to other people. Wow. Sometimes they have not spent a lot of time, getting that kind of feedback because no one sometimes haven't told them. And so I think that's what's great about you in the business that you have being a brandologist, because you can step back and assess a person and kind of help guide them in that direction. And even if they have an active business, sometimes when you've been in business for a while, you need someone to come in and kind of help you assess because you've been doing it for so long.
You get complacent.
And you get complacent or you get into a bad habit, or what I like to call, sometimes you just get stuck and you're not really sure how to move our brand. And that's what I want to ask you is, how do you help your clients when they get stuck around their brand? What are some tips that you can give us when we feel that way?
Well, it's a good question. So I had a lady that called me just a couple of days ago, right? And really wanted to talk about her brand and how she comes off to people. She does events, and she says she can't get people to attend the event. Wow. But every time I've ever seen this lady, I kid you not, I'm like, I don't want to come to your event.
Oh my!
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't want to come to your event because she has a demeanor about herself that's not friendly. It's not inviting. So we talked about personality, which is the second part of this little snippet of this poem that talks about your personality is your business card, right? Yeah. So people do business with people that they're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
And so if you always come off, rough around the edges type of way. I don't want to do business with you. I'm going to think twice about it. I know other people will think twice about it. Absolutely. So we talked about that. I said, you have to present yourself as friendly. People do business with people that they like and people that they feel like, we could have a good rapport with. Rapport is everything.
Absolutely.
And
I think when it comes to that too, is being able to be willing, when they come to sit down with you, be able to receive that feedback.
Absolutely.
And understand that there's a difference between critique and being criticized.
Absolutely.
And when you have a business and you're building your brand, and even if you've been in business for a while, there's always a time to step back and have someone else to assess, because where you see yourself and how you see yourself presenting yourself may not always be the way that you're received. So definitely your personality is your business card, because I know for me, I've had people to reach out to me that I didn't even know, and they're like, we just heard you're a good person to work with, and you're a very good collaborator, and we like working with people that way. And so I do know that your personality has a great impact on your business. And that's the thing, is you can have a great website, a fantastic business card, you can have all the bells and whistles, but if it does not line up with your personality, if it does not line up with what you project, it competes with your brand. And I think sometimes we don't realize we compete with our own brand because we represent this, but then when we encounter you, we see a different thing. So
Absolutely.
I think it's very important that we are willing to set aside that time and come back and do those assessments, especially with a brand knowledge just like you that's been doing it for a while.
Well, I remember growing up and hearing about, and I might have been in first grade. This is so funny, 1,000 years ago. But anyway, they used to always talk about cold pricklies and warm fuzzies, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so you want to present yourself as warm and friendly, especially when you're trying to do business. Nobody wants to do business with a bully, you know what I mean? And so when I talked to this young lady about her event, I was like, you just really have to think about, how am I coming off to these people?
Yeah.
Like, people spend money with people they like. She was really cool. I met her. She had a great personality.
Absolutely.
And guess what else they'll do? They'll invite a friend.
Yeah.
And their friend will invite a friend.
Yeah,
referrals. Referrals
are key to your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your personality is truly your brand. So you have to reevaluate. So if you know that you are not a morning person, don't go out and do your shopping in the morning. Wait until you had a couple of cups of coffee, then go out. When you know you're in a better mood and you
don't
feel,
schedule meetings. If you know,
don't schedule meetings.
If you know that you're not a true morning person, don't schedule your video or your conference call first thing in the morning. I know for me, I really hit my stride about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I usually don't start scheduling anything for me personally till about 10 because I know that I have some things I need to do to get prepared for the day, and I don't like to rush.
Yeah.
And you got to know when is your most productive time of the day.
Right.
And be willing to make those adjustments so you can meet the needs of your clients.
Right.
And unfortunately, if you have a client that is an early morning person, you just may have to just adjust yourself and be able to meet that need if you want to keep that client. And I think that's another thing about your personality being your business card, knowing how to adjust and adapt your personality. Not saying you're changing who you are, but you want to meet the needs of your customer.
Absolutely. Because they have choices.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, they have choices. So if your smile is your logo and your personality is your business card, the last part of it is how you make others feel after they've done a transaction with you.
Okay.
That's your trademark.
Absolutely.
That's your trademark.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps people coming back over and over. And I think if I was the type of person that was grumpy all the time, I don't feel like being bothered.
Yeah.
If I wasn't warm and friendly, and anybody knows me, I love to have a good time.
Absolutely.
We are going to laugh and chalk it up, but we will have some serious time. I have serious time with my clients where I can kind of keep it real, but I think they respect it because of the fashion that I bring it in, right?
Absolutely.
So after these messages, after the commercial break, we are going to talk about your trademark, because your trademark is so important. When you're talking about your brand, again, we never want to dismantle our brand. And sometimes we do it to ourselves. We got to stop sabotaging our own business. We'll be back.
Align Therapy is a full-service community-based rehabilitation clinic specializing in manual therapy. They provide a more personalized experience for their clients. Align Therapy's goal is to help their patients become their best selves. Call 901-877-2244. Awaken Wellness Consulting mission is to aim, advocate, inform, and motivate individuals to engage in whole person wellness to address real-life challenges. Awaken Wellness Consulting strives to equip and empower individuals in the world to discover whole person wellness. Ready to change your life? Book a consultation at awakenwellnessconsulting.com. Wine? Because it's not good to keep things all bottled up. Enjoy the lifestyle of all things uncorked, especially when you're wine touring with Gates Uncorked. Gates Uncorked invites you to wind down and host your very own private in-home wine tasting with family and friends. Call 901-466-6703 to book today. 1015 Take the Shot Studios offers photography, shooting real-time moments, creating lifetime memories, and videography, connecting the dots, linking the past, creating the tapestry of the future. 1015 Take the Shot Studios, a visual storyteller in Memphis. At Christy Taylor Consulting, we understand that consulting and coaching is key to your success. We provide insight and creative strategies in the areas of radio, TV, film, and music. We assist creative entrepreneurs and businesses with professional and personal development. Within our media training division, we offer entertainers and executives tailored programs to identify one's personal narrative, craft a compelling message, prep for media interviews, and public speaking. For your client discovery session, go to ChristyTaylorConsulting.com.
A brand is the collective impact or lasting impression from all that is seen, heard, or experienced by customers who come into contact with a company and or its products and services. In creating a brand or branding, you have to manage the effect that your product or service is having on the customer.
Welcome back. So we were talking about how you leave others after they've done a transaction with you in business. That's your trademark.
Yeah.
So if you mess it up, you are truly messing up your brand. Or you put a mark on your brand. I'm not saying you're going to totally mess up your brand, right? Because we do have opportunities. We don't always get it right. And I don't want anybody to think that we're perfect. I'm not perfect.
No, we're human. and we know that.
I don't know everything.
Yeah, we're human. Sometimes you're just not going to get it right. Sometimes you're going to have a day when it just does not come together. And we understand that. But what you don't want to do is get stuck and when you have a trend where you have several days when things don't come together. And I think that's what
then you might need to take a vacation. And that's okay too. And that's totally okay.
But understanding how all these pieces come to play in your business.
Sure.
Everything, like we said earlier, from your business card to your website to even your smile and your logo, and everything should be cohesive. It should all match together.
It should.
And that leads into what you were saying about how you treat your clients and how you interact with your clients. It becomes your trademark of your business.
And you want to be consistent. You don't want to treat one client. I mean, I agree. I think we will have like our VIP clients.
You always will.
That we go above and beyond for, and it may be for various reasons, but across the board, I'm talking about the very basics.
There should be some
consistency.
consistency.
You want to be consistent, right?
Absolutely.
So Maya Angelou has this saying, and she said she learned that people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
That is so incredibly important, and I'm I'm just conscious about that, right?
Yeah.
I never want anybody to walk away from me feeling like, oh my God, did she just say that? Or oh my God, I can't believe she did. I never want a person to walk away from me feeling like I've torn them down, because we get enough of that in the world, right?
Yeah, as humans, you have memories from your childhood.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you may not remember all the good stuff, but you can remember that person that hurt you.
Oh yeah.
You can remember that person that may have said something to you that kind of made you feel a certain way. We will always have those memories with us. And what we have to be mindful of that when we're in business is that we don't want to kind of create those experiences. As one of my coaches tell us all the time, is that you want to under-promise but over-deliver.
Yes.
You want to make sure your trademark leaves them feeling like, I had a really good experience with Nicole, or I had a good experience with Katrina. They met my needs, they met my expectations, and they don't feel like they've been taken advantage of. And when you do that, that's how you build that strong referral business. And I know for me, I have a website, but I've gotten most of my business from referrals. I have people that will call me and go, hey, I heard you work with ABC. Can you come and sit with us?
And that's the best. That is the absolute best. Yes.
I love when people tell me that I help them, or I tell them I've helped their organization. And when you are working in your business, you just, like you said, you want to be consistent.
You want to be consistent.
And it's okay to take break. And you got to know yourself. You got to know, maybe this week I can't work 5 days a week. Maybe this week I'm only going to work 3, but I'm going to work real hard on those 3 days.
Right.
And those other 2 days I'm not going to do as much. But make sure that you're communicating that with your clients so they'll know, okay, well, this week they're not working the same shift they worked last week.
And you definitely got to do that. I was just thinking while you were talking, about 21 years ago. Seems like a long time, right? When I was 21.
When I was 21.
All these years ago. But I remember when I first started my event planning business.
Oh, yeah.
There's something to the name, right? So when I talk about branding, think about your business name. What does that business name represent? the name of my event planning company was More Than a Memory, because I wanted people to, when they came to an event, I wanted it to be more than just a memory. I wanted them to think about that like, oh my God, I had the best time ever. And I don't care when she does another event, I
want to be there.
Right?
Yeah.
So I really took that into consideration, and I made sure that every move that I made in regards to event planning represented that name of my business.
And
that
I like
was
another
important.
thing about you too, when you meet with your clients, is when you talk about the color too. A
Oh,
lot of times people
colors
don't
matter.
think about,
Oh, yes.
that may be your favorite color, but that color may not complement your business. For example, I know I'm in health and wellness, so I do a lot of consulting, a lot of training, a lot of speaking. It wouldn't benefit my business to have a big bold red. Red does not coordinate with wellness and health. You need
like
calming
alert,
colors like
alert,
green
right,
and blue.
right.
And I think sometimes,
Right.
when you first start your business, you don't know those things. And we need people like you to come and tell us.
Right.
Because I know when I initially started, we looked at several colors. And you were like, let's think about what you want this to represent. So let's talk about color a little bit in your brand too.
So for me, for instance, my colors are red, black, and white.
No.
Right? Red for me represents the boldness. You know, when a woman is in business, she has to be bold.
Okay.
She has to be bold. The black, and we should do a whole segment. Like we can go so deep with these colors. But for me, the red was my primary color.
Okay.
You know, because it represented being bold
Okay.
and being courageous and stepping out. So when we're thinking about our business name, we're thinking about our business colors. We should take all of that in consideration. You know, and you need to be able to tell me why it's that color, you know, because
Absolutely.
people do ask questions.
Yeah.
People ask me like the CEO mindset, what does that mean? You know, and I tell them all the time, you know, for years, we've always had men that were CEOs. Now we're representing the women who are at the head of companies and running their own businesses and making really good money. And now we're the breadwinner, you know what I mean? So really just talking about that, but how we can embrace our women in business.
Absolutely.
So and that takes a mindset.
That does.
You got to have a different mindset. So when I came up with that, it was strategic. You have to be strategic. So, Katrina, I think we got to do a segment on colors. We'll have to do a segment on colors.
So you told us what the red. Can you tell us real quick just what the black stands for?
Now, see, you're going to put me on the spot, right? I don't know. No. The black, you know, that it represents a couple of different things. Like for me, when you talk about business, we never want to be in the red. Black represents success.
Got it.
Our numbers are in the clear. So, you know, you want always your business to be successful. So that black for me represents that, right?
Absolutely.
The red is my boldness.
Got it.
The black is my success. White is just a neutral color that I just threw in there with it. But you want to really think about that. You really want to think about those colors and how it represents your particular brand. But we'll do one. We'll do a segment.
We're gonna do a segment.
We'll do that for you guys and kind of get more in depth about colors because there's so many. And there's some primary colors that really have some really good meanings. And to be able to match it to some brands that we see on a regular basis. So it's really cool. So as always, as we wrap up the show, we want to remind you to remember where you started, celebrate where you are, focus on where you're going, and always trust the process. Cheers.
And we invite you to join us next week as we continue the conversation around the CEO mindset. Next week, our topic will be addressing those invisible scars, the barriers and biases of having your own business. So come back and join us as we continue this conversation.
We'll see you there.
The CEO Mindset is brought to you by
Hill & Company 12 Event Design.